Let's start sitting down on a blanket or a bolster. You could even sit right up against a wall. And turn your palms to face up. Close your eyes. Take a long, deep breath in through your nose. And a big exhale out through your mouth. Another long, deep breath comes in. And then it falls right back out. One more time, breathe in through your nose. And exhale out through your mouth. Good. Right away, lift your spine away from the wall if it's tacked against the wall. Take your right hand down onto the floor. Left hand can come to your belly, maybe lift it up towards your head. If available, it can come all the way over, and you're just going to lean over towards the side. So targeting in and around the QL here. This whole sequence is about opening that lateral and back line of your body. Take a few deep breaths into the side of your body, but really pushing your sit bones down into the floor. And then bring your body back up through center, take a little reset, and turn over to the other side. So this is simple side body stretching. Don't worry too much about what happens with this top hand. Keeping it on your hip will not change what's happening in the pose. We're really, really focused in and around the side ribs, in and around your serratus muscle. And if there's space to sink a little deeper, go ahead and sink a little deeper, but don't disconnect that right hip from the floor. Come on back up, lift right back up, and turn your body around so that you come down onto all fours. Now, if your knees are a bit achy, you can come down onto a blanket or maybe onto a little pillow or cushion. Take your hands down onto the floor. Drop your belly down, roll your shoulders back, and lift your heart and chest up to inhale. Then do the opposite action, round into your upper back. Let your head hang here and look to your tummy as you exhale. This is called cat-cow. You'll try this 3 times, extending and then flexing into your spine. Noting what's happening with your breath here. And after that third movement, could you extend your left leg back and stretch your right arm forward? And maybe start to curl in and extend out. Curl in and extend out. So the right elbow is coming towards your left knee, right underneath your belly button. They don't have to touch, but they might get close. And you're just working with those opposing chains through the right and left side of your body. Take that hand and that knee down and do the exact same thing on the other side. Now, as you do this, your core is really strong and contained. There's some stability through that grounded palm. And think about reaching away as opposed to trying to get really high. Perfect. Take that hand down to the floor. Separate your knees nice and wide. Nice and wide. And then come down into a child's pose. Your hands can be up overhead, or you could bend at your elbows and place your head right onto your wrists, maybe massaging your wrists with your head. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, let your hips really, really relax. Another deep breath in. Exhale. One more breath comes in. And exhale. Use your hands to lift your body back up. Take time here. And just notice how much of your hands you're using to stand up. Once you get to the top of your yoga mat, if you have a blanket here, move that blanket out of the way. Take your right leg and take a great big step forward with your right leg, bending down into that right knee. Now your left foot is on about a 45-degree angle, but let's separate our feet just beyond hip distance apart. So there's lots of stability here. As you start to push through that left foot, you're intensifying the stretch along the back line of your leg. So this is targeting your hamstring, your calf, and then as you start to bend deeper into your front knee, you might even begin to feel a shearing or a pull through the front of your left thigh. Draw your right hip back, left hip forward, lift your heart and chest up, and for this shape, let's just keep our hands together at heart center. Breathe in through your nose. And now we're breathing out through our nose as well, engaging the legs. So the muscles of the legs are super strong here the whole time. If that back knee starts to bend, that's okay, but try to push through the outside of your heel and keep it in that long, deep extension. One more breath in and out. Take your hands onto your hips. Push through your right foot and just step forward with your left foot to do that simple action on the other side. This is a warrior one shape. Again, your feet are hip distance apart. Start to track that left knee forward, bending towards your second toe. So try to line that left knee up right above the ankle, tracking towards your second toe, and push down through the outside edge of your right foot. Lots of strength in these lower limbs. Bring your hands together at your heart. If there's not a lot of sensation here, maybe you take a wider stance, a deeper bend. But we're never pushing our body because of our ego, right? We're just trying to find therapeutic, deep stretch and muscular work for our bones and our tissues and our bodies. Take one more big breath in. Exhale there. Look forward. Let's bring our hands for our hips and then step your right foot forward. Perfect. Just rock your hips from side to side. Now the right foot stays where it is. Step your left foot back, but your toes are facing that left long edge of your yoga mat now. And the heel of your right foot will intersect with the arch of your back foot before you take your right knee into a deep, deep bend. The right knee starting to track over the right ankle. Warrior two here. Open your arms wide or bend at your elbows or keep your hands at your hips. This is an exercise that you could also take a strap into your arms and use the strap behind you, peering over your right fingertips. You're in the driver's seat in these poses, so the deeper you bend in the front knee, the more activation you invite through your legs, the stronger this shape will be for you. But you can do the shape really lazily too, and you're not going to have a huge impact if you do it that way. So I really encourage you to engage the muscles of your legs. Feel your glutes pulling in towards one another. Force your feet down to the floor and then pull up through the inner arches of your feet. Now from here, could you extend? So straighten your right leg. Start to tilt forward. Let's take our hands to our hips. Push your pubic bone forward. Take your right fingers down towards your right shin. Keep your spine on this nice diagonal shape. And now start to track your left hip back. Tuck that left seat under. Left hand stays on your hip today. Your gaze can go down, straight ahead, or up, up, and away. You're breathing here for 3, 2, and 1. Push into the feet to lift up. Hands come to your hips. Turn your right toes to face forward, and we'll do that same set on the other side. So the left toes face the back of your mat now. The heel still drives right through the midline of that front knee, or front foot. Go ahead and bend into your front knee and really work on externally rotating your front thigh. So if I were to take your femur bone and manually rotate it, it's moving behind you towards the left. Now get strong through your legs, focusing really on the lower body strength before anything else. Then hands can stay at your hips, right? Lots of different variations. Hands can come up to this little L goalpost shape. They could extend, or if you have a strap handy, maybe this is where you integrate a strap, and that will help pull your scapula in and pull you back. Then set your gaze up, down, wherever it feels good. I like to look right over my front fingertips, and we're breathing here for 3. Good. 2. And 1. Push into that front foot. Turn both feet forward. Both feet forward. And bring your hands to your hips. Take a breath in, lift your gaze up. Spread your toes really wide as you start to come forward. Now you might just go halfway. We're working the deep back line, so your hamstrings to the soles of your feet, all the way up your spine. But if you can take your hands down beneath your shoulders or to blocks, that feels good. Your gaze can stay forward. If you're feeling dizzy at all, hop out of the pose. Otherwise, let your head dangle, walk your hands to the edges of your feet, and breathe here, weight dripping into the balls of your feet for 3, 2, and 1. Walk your hands forward, bend into your knees, climb up your legs, lift your torso up. Good. Reset here with breath. You might feel a little dizzy. Then step your feet forward and come down onto your yoga mat. And find your prop to sit on again. Take your right leg into extension. And could you angle it just a little bit? Plugging the sole of your left foot into your right thigh. Maybe you take a blanket underneath that right leg. Now your right hand will drive towards the right foot. Think about angling your ribs open to the left. Left hand stays here as you root down through your hips and lengthen out through the crown of your head. Starting to articulate that sensation of tension right in that meaty part of your lower back. You could keep your hand here, or maybe it comes to the back of your head. But if you take it to the back of your head, really push your head into your hand, allowing that resistance to create space to sink a little further into this stretch. Breathing here for 3, 2, and 1. Good. Lift your head, your neck, and your shoulders up. Lean back onto your hands. Take your time and just swap over to the other side. So there's this moderate V angle on the left leg. The sole of the right foot plugs into the inner left thigh, and that left foot is staying active. Now start by leaning forward. You're almost bowing in towards your leg. You might catch the foot, the ankle, the big toe. Then take your right hand to your right hip. Push through your sit bones. Inhale here. And as you exhale, opt to sink a little deeper, continually digging or weighting your hips down onto the floor. That right hand might even come to the back of your head, but remember, if it does, push your head into your hand. Breathe into the lower back and sink a little deeper. Marinating here for 3, 2, and 1. Really good. Let's lift all the way back up. Take your hands back behind you. Feet come out in front. Place your left ankle over your right thigh, and you can absolutely stay propped up on a blanket for this thread the needle stretch. So left ankle across your right thigh, chest is lifted, and the more you walk your right heel in towards your body, the deeper that stretch is going to be. Take a big breath in through your nose. Open your mouth wide and exhale. Take another big breath in through your nose. Open your mouth wide and exhale. One more breath here, just really pushing that left thigh away. And if this is too much work on the shoulders, you can totally do this against a wall, which is a bit more intense actually. Take that foot down, rock your knees from side to side, and try it on the other side. So either against a wall or propping yourself up on your hands. That top foot, so the foot that's in the bend, is flexed. That gives a little support to your knee joint. And the action here is a casual pressing forward of the bent thigh. So the top leg is pushing away, spine supported by your wall or your hands. And just breathe here for 3, 2, and 1. Good. Take that leg out. Come on down to your back. Now you can move your bum cushion and turn it into your pillow. It doesn't sound very nice, does it? Hug your knees into your chest here and just rock around on your lower back. And sometimes the simplest movements, like lying on your back and just rocking side to side, can have a really great impact on your nervous system, on any kind of tension in the lumbar spine. From here, place your feet flat on the floor and move your hips over to the right. Collect your knees like it's just one giant leg and drop those knees down towards the left. Now, you might even take that blanket that you're using under your head and tuck it under the right shoulder to give that shoulder a connection to the ground. The shoulder's either touching the floor or the prop. Then you decide if you'd like to look forward or take the stretch, the twist from your lumbar, thoracic, and then all the way up to your cervical spine by adding rotation of the head. Take 5 deep breaths here. Slowly move your body back through neutral, adjust your props, pause in neutral for a moment, just check in. Hands can come to your belly, inhale and exhale. And now you'll shift your hips over towards the opposite direction to the right and drop your knees to the left. Work both shoulders down towards the floor, either bending at the elbows or stretching the arms all the way out. Close your eyes and take 5 deep breaths, 5 deep breaths into your spine. You might even visualize the breath weaving its way up and down your spinal cord. Great work. Come back through center. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Rock from side to side, or take happy baby, where you catch the outside edges of your feet, tuck your knees in towards your armpits. 3 deep breaths here. You're really imprinting your back body onto your mat. Then release the legs completely, flatten your body out, and take Shavasana. Even the shortest of practices necessitate this wonderful little pose of absorption. So we'll just take 5 deep breaths in Shavasana here. Inhale through your nose. And exhale, that's 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Blink open your eyes, wiggle your fingers and your toes, bend back into your knees, and roll over to either side. Push yourself all the way back up to sit. And take your hands to your heart, set an intention to close your practice. 1 final breath in, 1 final breath out. Namaste.